got. So to start with, we're going to look at example 1, and you should still be copying and taking notes just like you've been supposed to be doing all along. Here we go. Example 1. The product of -3/5 and 11/12 positive. So let me ask you this. A positive number times a negative number. What will your product be? Negative or positive? Ethan? Yes. So before you even get concerned about anything, drag your negative into your answer. Now you know your answer is negative. Everything else you do, you have the correct sign. On your quizzes, that was the biggest error I saw, is you all forgot negative positive rules. In multiplication, you can either multiply across, and then reduce, or you can search for opportunities to reduce within the multiplication problem itself. Here we see that the 5 and 11 do not share any factors other than 1, but the 3 and the 12 do. Remember, we've already accounted for the fact that this is negative in the result, so you can kind of ignore it from here. 3 and 12 both reduce by a factor of 3, correct? So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now my numerator is the product of 1 and 11. My denominator is the product of 5 and 4. I already accounted for the negative, so there's my answer. Easy peasy, right? Question for you. Let's just say, and this is example 2. I gave out 16 awards, each weighing 2 1/5 pounds. What if I asked you what the total weight was? Rachel, how would you solve that? I gave out 16 awards, each weighing 2 1/5 pounds. How would you solve that? Multiply. Yep. So we are going to multiply, but since this is a whole number and this is a mixed number, whenever you are dealing with mixed and or whole numbers, make them improper, please. You will be more successful. 16 over 1 multiplied by 11 over 5, am I right? Yep. Look for opportunities to reduce. There isn't any, is there? So you should come up with 176 over 5. If you give me that as an answer, just like on your quiz, I'll mark it wrong because you did not make it a mixed number. This clearly could be a mixed number. 35 1/5 is the total weight in pounds of the awards. That's similar to the Academy Award problem that they have in the textbook. Anyway, we're going to keep going. Along these lines, multiplying mixed numbers, I will continue to remind you, make them improper, please. And here's one that's not a word problem, but it's just doing the task. 7 2/3 multiplied by 2 7/10. Do not do 7 times 2 and then the fractions. You'll be wrong. Make it improper. Which in this case, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2, 23 over 3, multiplied by 27 over 10. Just to remind us about negatives and positives, these are both positive numbers, so we know our answer is positive, so we don't have to concern ourselves further with that. Can anything reduce? Go ahead, Emma. By a factor of 3, right? 3 becomes a 1. 27 becomes what? 9. Holy macaroni. What's 23 times 9? Say again? 207? 207. 10 times 1. 20 and 7/10. If you do not give it to me in a mixed number, I have to mark it wrong. I'll write reduce, or I'll write simplify, or I'll write improper, or I'll just make a frowny face, depends on my mood. What if I intermingle variables? And that's where we're going to spend the last few minutes of our lesson. Variables. So example 4 out of your textbook has 2 variable examples. I'm going to give you a couple as well. We're going to start with the product of C over 7 multiplied by 14 over 15. Same questions can be asked. Can anything reduce here and here? Nope. C and 15 only share a 1. But how about 7 and 14? Rhino.
7 becomes a 1 and 14 becomes a 2.
Bravo, my man. Multiply across. 2 multiplied by C is 2C. 15 multiplied by 1 is 15. 2 and 15 cannot reduce. Answer is done. Here's one that's a little more complicated. It might look it anyway. They threw in some negatives. They threw in some exponents. Oops, that x shouldn't be floating up in the air. 2x to the third over 9. Negative 2x to the third over 9 multiplied by negative 3x over 4. Okay, let's ask ourselves about the negative positives. What will the product be? Positive. So you can already just now ignore this. Don't let it concern you anymore. You don't have to write the positive symbol, but if you want to, it's fine. Will anything cross cancel or reduce within the 2 and the 4, Ellie?
Yeah, 2 and 4.
Become a 2 and a 1. How about these, Noah? The 9 and the 3.
The 9 becomes a 3 and the 3 becomes a 1.
Excellent. So I now have x cubed times x. Notice I stopped talking about the negative symbol because I know the negative symbols become a positive in the end. So x cubed times x, and there's no exponent, which means it's to the first. When it's the same base, which it is, x and x, you simply combine exponents. So what is the result of combining 3 and 1 together? What do you get? 4. That's your new numerator. Denominator, nothing to worry about as far as variables. 3 times 2. Nothing can reduce because the coefficient of this is a 1. 1 and 6 do not reduce. All right. Got another example of this. 3y over 4 multiplied by y to the 5th over 9. What can reduce, folks? The 3's. 3 in the 9. Good. The 9 becomes a... The 3 becomes a... So now I have 1y times y to the 5th. What's the new numerator? Y to the 6th, because if there is no exponent, it's a 1. The bottom, what's the result in the new denominator there? Okay. All right, folks. 8 through 36 even today.